Hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Dere Podcast. My name is Lee,
I
I I am Tyler.
and
So
today we're
it's
going to be talking about the fall season. It's the fall season now, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just had a brain fart.
I don't
Before
know
we
seasons
start,
either.
I think it's necessary to apologize for how many weeks has it been? Like 3?
3.
Yeah,
These things happen.
A 3-week gap. It wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. I mean, it just happened. We're sorry. It's life gets in the way and shit.
School gets in the way.
In life gets in the way sometimes. But here we are.
That's rough.
Here we are. What is it, like 2 weeks until Thanksgiving?
Yep. 2
So-
weeks until Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We'll be trying
s-
and we'll try and release an episode on Thanksgiving.
Will we? I'm
Yes.
not sure if I'll be around, but we'll talk about that later. So the first show we have we're gonna talk about is Asterisk, which only Lee and I are watching. I think.
I'm watching.
Nope,
Okay.
we're all watching it.
It's Cavalry
Okay.
that I'm not watching.
Yeah, we're all watching it. So yeah, let's talk about what we've seen so far.
So this show started, if you guys remember back all the way to the first episode recorded, everyone was worried that this show, Cavalry, and Lance and Masks was going to be the exact same show, because the first few episodes were the exact same. And though I'm not watching Lance and Masks, Cavalry and Asterisk have definitely split. They're not going the same direction, even though they're both battle schools. But I'm actually liking a lot where Asterisk is going. All the characters
like
are great.
the whole tournament sort of setup that they've got going for like different schools like competing. I can
Mhm.
get down with that.
I got real confused this latest episode because I was thinking in terms of Cavalry, and I'm like, they're dueling, but I just got all confused. But I definitely like where the show's going. I like the introduction of Toto. Is that her?
Yeah, she's wife
Toto,
too.
Kieran.
Yeah.
She's best girl.
She's fantastic.
Attaboy.
There was a huge, there's huge support for her in like a bunch of threads, and I was very surprised when that happened.
There better be. Everyone needs to know.
Like, what's
Best
the appeal of Kieran? Is it just because she's a cute girl?
I like her because, for starters, she's a cute girl, but she's also like, she like, over the times or whatever, like we start off seeing her like, you know, she's the like she's under control of her uncle, right? But like through the 2 episodes or whatever, we know that she's a strong girl. Like she is powerful. She knows what she's doing, and like through the 2 or 3 episodes of her little story part, we get to see her, you know, leaving her uncle and becoming like her own sort of like taking her own steps towards her future, which, you know, being a cute girl plus being strong equals perfect. Best girl confirmed.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I like her because the amount of character development we've seen in the past 2 episodes or 3 episodes, which is impressive. Because usually they introduce the character and then they don't do much, but this is like character arc for her specifically, which I like. But you know, Saya's better. But you know, we're not going to get into that.
Well, I have been following this show. Well, I was honestly gonna kind of drop it because I've been busy, but I will give this show credit where it's due. I fucking love the character designs. For the girls at least. The main guy is very generic looking, but
Yeah.
the girls' designs are fantastic. Like Lee and Tyler have said, Kieran is a cute girl, a cute grill. The main girl, whose name I don't know, is also a cute grill. That one blue-haired girl is a cute grill. All of their designs are really, really good, and when they appear on screen, I enjoy looking at that. However, I don't like the story. it's really, really boring. Like, during episode 7, I literally found myself almost falling asleep. It's just not that exciting. The main character is a badass. He can do whatever he wants.
I think I for the most part agree with you that the story as they're taking it right now is really boring. I think they've shown some plot points that are going to be interesting, but they're not doing anything with them.
I agree. Didn't they show like those two girls, the tan one and the long haired one? They're like, oh, the big plan is happening now.
Yeah.
We're 7 episodes in.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have time for this. What are you doing? There's 5 episodes left. You've shown us jack shit up until this point. Let's get some action.
Yeah, exactly. They're just sitting back there going, oh, Act 1 was great, and Act 2 is going to be even better. It's like,
yeah, it's like,
just show
really?
us that. Like,
yeah,
you aren't...
What are you scheming for? Come on.
Yeah, they haven't given us any real reason that they're scheming. They haven't really given us insight into their characters. They just... It's like, oh, look at all these attacks that are happening to the main character, and then he fights through all of them, and then it just flashes to them, and it's like, oh, they're involved. It's like, why? Tell us why.
We just haven't seen them do much, so we're just sitting here, like, waiting. Like, is next week gonna be the big episode? You know? I'm tired of waiting. I want something substantial.
I'm trying to think what the preview was, but I can't remember.
The preview was just blue-haired chick asking Kieran to be partners, a team.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It wasn't anything.
Yep.
And then also with the main character's power, he can only last for a certain amount of time, and then he gets locked up because of what his sister did. It's like, that's awesome. You explained it, but you haven't delved any more into it, except for that it's a hindrance. He can only be overpowered as fuck for 5 minutes. Okay? Give us more.
Exactly. They didn't explain why she did it or like her reasonings behind anything, but they just kind of like, yo, my sister did this. Oh, okay. I can accept that. Just give me a bone. Why'd she do it? Where'd she go? What's going on?
Yeah, and where'd she go? We get that little bit of explanation in episode 2 with his sword being the sword that his sister used. That's it. They haven't touched on it again.
No. After that, we gotta build the harem. You know, we gotta put time in there for that.
Yeah. Also, what's up with that? Oh wait, never mind. That's for a different show. Because Asterisk and Cavalry, there's like Lee said that they were starting to split. I disagree. I think they're kind of going in the same direction. Asterisk so far, there's obviously some sort of like evil mastermind plan happening, and the same goes for Cavalry. So, with that said, let's talk about Cavalry now.
I'm a few episodes behind on Cavalry. We'll get that out get that out of the way right away. But I'm also liking where Cavalry's going. I like that it's not a straight up harem, but instead it's a romance that just has harem elements in it.
I'll believe the romance part when they actually like get together by the end of it. So
they're already together by episode 5.
Already?
They're already together, dude.
That's that's the big deal.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's what makes it interesting. I don't know. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think I like the main character in Cavalry a lot better. Because it's not that he's overpowered but he has a restraint. He's overpowered in just combat, and therefore the school's all against him and stuff like that.
I mean, that's really all you need.
Exactly. I don't know. I think I like his power a lot better. Also, I like how the fights look in Cavalry a lot better than in Asterisk.
Really?
Yeah, I prefer like regular looking swords and not like phaser swords. But they look like in Asterisk they look like cheap toys to me. That's just.
I mean, honestly, in Cavalry they look kind of bland for me. Although Asterisk, yeah, I get why you say the swords look kind of cheap. But for Cavalry, I didn't expect to enjoy Cavalry as much as I am. Either this show is somewhat decent, or my standards have fallen very, like, a lot.
I think it's a little bit of both.
I don't know about that, but I like Stella. First of all, she's pretty thirsty. Like, she wants Iki's dick. It's
yeah.
She definitely wants the D. But the story, what has even happened in the story? This is the problem with bi-weekly podcasts. You kind of forget what happens.
Well, I haven't seen the last 2 episodes, so I can't help you out here much.
I haven't watched it, so I can't help you out much either.
Oh, damn it. Okay, well, in this episode, the new one, there's this girl who wants to battle Iki, and then she secretly betrays him in this new one. Wait, that's a spoiler. Shit.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, well, anyway. The story is pretty low-key. I don't think it's gonna be, like, amazing or anything. But it's entertaining at the least. I tolerate it because I like Stella and I don't like Iki, but how she interacts with him is pretty funny. Also, in the new episode, I think she breaks into his house and tries to bang him or something. Which apparently is like a legitimate Japanese tradition.
Break into someone's house and bang them?
Well, no, it's not like in a rapey kind of way. It's like, well, it sounds pretty rapey, but supposedly in ancient Japan, it usually be a man doing this. A man would enter a woman's house, and he would like feel her up or something. I don't know, and if she consented, it'd be okay, and then they could spend the night. But he'd have to sneak out later. And usually this was like pre-arranged between the parents, and the man breaking in was usually someone the parents knew, and it would be like a precursor to an actual relationship, supposedly. I don't know if this is true, but like some people were saying that it was legit. So that was ridiculous. But the battle school elements, I still don't like them. I think it's dumb, but for now, Cavalry is on my good side somewhat, and I'm satisfied with what I've been given.
I also like Alice as a character.
I don't.
I think it's cool. It's a character you never see anywhere else.
Really? Because I've seen characters like that before.
I have it in anime where they just address it. And then they just leave it. It's a non-issue for the rest of the show.
Okay, well, there are a lot of characters like that in anime, I'm pretty sure.
Well, then I haven't been paying attention, or I haven't been watching the right shows.
All right, so I think we covered Cavalry somewhat decently.
The one thing for it. I remember one of the top posts on our anime subreddit or whatever was that's the one scene where the girl was running away and she was like yelling and she fell over the rail into the water. That was so good. I don't know what it was from or like any like context, but then just yell. Like you have to go look it up. But the yell of her like running away was so good. But anyways, that's all I had to put
Something I don't like about Cavalry is the teacher character, Yuri Sensei. I think she's really dumb.
Oh, I agree. She
like literally coughs up blood during a serious scene, and it's like played off as a joke. It's like, really? Do we need this? She's really gimmicky. I don't like her.
Yeah, I think they're trying too hard with that character. Like it's like for the most part, I like every single character, but she just pisses me off.
Yeah, I don't.
When she was first introduced and she was like trying to act like an idol and then gets a nosebleed and it was just like I was like, really?
Yeah, it just doesn't vibe well with that scene in particular. Alright, so next we're going to talk about Comet Lucifer, a show that only Tyler and I are watching, I think.
Yeah,
Tyler, you're caught up, right?
I am caught up all the way.
Okay, so you're going to have to take the lead on this one because I
Are you
haven't
caught
seen.
up or not?
I'm one episode behind.
Oh, okay. So, currently, we still don't know too much, but, we get some backstory behind, Dongo, the, bartender or whatever that was taking care of Sogo, right? We get some backstory with him, and apparently, Dumon or whatever is his name. And, apparently, him and, I think Gus was his name, the anti-antagonist, whatever, it's chasing them with the eye patch or whatever. I think his name's Gus, but apparently they had their backstory and like they were both in the military, so like they both knew each other, and there was this huge reveal about who the they called him the honeybee lady or whatever, the honeybee person who like kept on giving them information on where Philia and Sogo were, and there was a huge reveal, and Dumon or whatever is like following them now because he figured out where they are, and we have some more like questions than answers because Philia starts turning into this like Halo sort of thing at the end of the episode, and they just kind of cut it off there. So it's one thing that's I find wrong with the series, that we have too many questions and not enough answers. And like I want these answers because I really like the setting that they've got going. I like how the mechs look and how they're fighting or whatever. The sounds for the fighting, like the huge I don't even know how to describe the sound. Like there's the metal clashing together every time like they go at it. It's so badass. It gets me so hyped for whatever reason. But just the story's a little lackluster. The fighting's great, but yeah. What about you, Aaron?
Okay, so remember back in like, how many weeks ago was this? Like 5 weeks ago, 5 or 4 weeks ago, when I said this show is on my good side because it's anime original.
Mm-hmm.
This show is succeeding in pissing me off every week. For me, we're 6 episodes in. Okay, we're halfway through. We don't know jack shit about what's going on, and that's really, really frustrating.
Speaking of, the most that we got told was in that stupid scene where they were going on their date, right? Remember? And like they were in the cart, like the train car or whatever, and they were all looking over the city. No. This was like way before. I think it was like 4. It was when we got introduced to the one creepy dude who was like Madame Mose or whatever.
Oh, right.
And Mora, it was when Mora sat there and was like trying to info dump for us, and it was like it only lasted like 2 minutes, and everyone just ignored him, and he was like, "Yo, I'm giving you the juicy tidbits here." And like, that's the most we were told ever.
Or
was
Mora.
that little?
Okay, so something I need to say. I hate all of the characters in this show. Okay, I don't hate Domon because he's a nice dude, but I hate Mora. I hate his voice in particular. He's just so annoying. I hate Sogo. He's a dumb idiot who doesn't do anything and is too dense to realize that 2 girls want his dick, or 1 girl wants his dick. I don't like Kaon because she's stuck in this stupid like love triangle. I don't like Felia because she's like a weird girl who just does quirky things for no reason and doesn't understand life. The characters are dumb. And when characters are dumb, I don't want to watch the show anymore. And also, I have so many questions about, is this Earth? Can you answer that question for me right now? Is this Earth? Does this show take place on Earth? Because I feel like it does. Because in the beginning of episode 6, they're in a desert. They show a shot of the desert. And if you are a tank fanatic like me, you would know that the tank wreck in the desert shown is a tiger. Is this Earth? That's the real question. They haven't addressed that. Everything points towards this being some alien world, somewhere, fantasy world, far away, but there's just so many things that like break the immersion. Like seeing that tank there in the desert. I don't understand. Is this Earth? And then she uses some idioms from Earth. So I just get confused. Like it just takes me out of the moment.
I don't know. I never really thought that is this Earth was anything to consider at all. So
Also, that stupid time skip or whatever that was in episode 5, was that a time skip?
I think that was just like a location change, or whatever.
Or
Like
was that magic? Did Felia just randomly grow 5 years within like? 2 seconds?
They kind of, I want to say they kind of explained it, but then again they didn't really. She just kind of like overused her powers or something, and I guess that she took in too much, whatever, and became, an adult, like a grown up.
Man, I really wish they had explained that correctly.
I really wish that they had explained a lot of stuff. But
I'm so fucking confused. Also, the military or organization that they're chasing, or that is chasing after Felia and the gang, what is their purpose? Like, they do some of the stupidest things I've ever seen. They come in, they try to, like, kidnap Felia, and people get mad at them. They're like, oh shit, we gotta pull out. Like, what was the point? What was the point? I don't get
I
it.
don't know.
I don't like Comet Lucifer.
What is it?
I had high hopes, but this show every week, it just continues to disappoint me.
You guys are making me feel a lot better after first not watching it.
I'm still holding hope.
I'm not.
I think that if we can get a second season, that
it's
might
not going to
be
get a second
decent.
season. It's not going to get a second season.
I mean, I didn't think
Because
no Seraph was going to get a second season.
Well,
And it
that's
did.
because it was riding on Attack on Titan's coattails. Okay, this is an anime original. People don't like it so far, so I don't think it's gonna get a second season. There's just no way.
Yeah, if what you guys are saying is true, then it's not gonna really have anything. I mean, like, I don't see why they would get a second season if what you guys are saying is true. And, like, I dropped this after episode 2 because it just seemed dumb.
It is dumb.
I'm not a huge fan of the mech genre anyways. And, like, it got around to week 3 and I was like, okay, I've watched almost everything. All that's left to watch is Comet Lucifer. And I was like, I have no desire to. I didn't feel like I needed to know anything more. I had no attachment to the characters. Sogo was dumb. Felia's weird.
I like Felia.
I'm sure she gets better as the show went on, but
You like a lot of things.
I do like a lot of things.
it didn't hook me at all.
One
Wait,
sec.
what's happening?
I was really hoping that with like the drastic change at the end of episode 5 or whatever, when like she grew up, that she kind of like remembered some of the stuff, and like we kind of get some hints as to what's going on. Nope, nothing.
Yeah, I wish.
No.
We need some information. Like, let's get real.
But
Alright, so
I'm
moving on.
Still holding hope that we'll get to a conclusive ending. It might not be great, but I like the
Who's
show.
animating this?
8-bit,
Okay.
I think. One second. let me
I've
go
never
check
heard of
that.
8-bit before. I think you're right, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's who's doing it.
Yeah, it's 8-bit.
Yeah, so we're gonna move on to Utawarerumono. Utawarerumono. The false spaces, I think.
Yeah.
The false mass or something.
It's the fault.
Tyler and Lee,
Love this show.
yeah, they
Yes!
love this show. They love this show, and they made me watch it.
Don't sound so disappointed.
Yeah, they made me watch the show. I had to binge all 6 episodes last week, and I'm just gonna say this right now. I don't like it.
All right. Well, we'll talk about why we like it, and then we can discuss why you're wrong.
Okay, that's fine
Um,
with me. Because I'm right. Because I know I'm right.
Okay.
Alright, just tell me.
So, we've talked about this show before, but I really, really like this show. I think it's relaxing and interesting enough. It's just it's a show where I can just sit down and I watch it. All the characters are likable, in my opinion, and it just it flows into their world so well. It does a really good job of just putting you where they are, and at least for me, there's nothing that takes you out of the experience. The entire show, opening and ending included. I think all of the music fits really, really well within the setting that they've created. The art is great. I love all the character designs. The wardrobes are fantastic. Voice acting is incredible, in my opinion. Kuon is just an amazing character. I like her character a lot. And every week it just something interesting always happens. This week was a little bit of a disappointment, though. I'll say
So
that.
much boy love.
Yeah, this week
Super turned off.
this week I'll have to say that I didn't really enjoy this episode.
But last week's episode was perfect.
Last week I was a little confused because it was pure just stuff for people who had watched the first season.
Why
It
it
was-
was perfect.
And I haven't seen the first season. I actually need to get around to watching that. I'll do that after I'm finished watching what I'm watching currently. But I don't know. I still enjoyed the past 2 weeks episodes. I just didn't enjoy them as much as the rest of them, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Anything to add to
Alright.
that, Tyler?
Like you said, Cowan is perfect. I really, really like Haku. He is like
Oh, he's amazing.
he is so good.
He was so lazy. It's perfect.
He's so lazy and everything, and like he's just all his like dialogue is always entertaining to see what he has to say. Like
Mhm.
I'm always drawn to being like I want to listen to him more. You know?
Yeah, you feel your inner Haku speak.
Yeah,
whenever he does.
exactly. And gosh, what else? The boy love girl. It kind of I saw it coming, but I didn't see it coming this bad. So I have nothing against boy love at all, but it's just that I don't know. It was a little jarring for the entire episode. Oh, and then the Enju or whatever, the heir to the empire or whatever. They got her into it too, man. Like, come on. But I want to see more of the Kokopo or whatever, the bird thingy. I thought that thing was pretty funny.
Mhm.
And I really want to see what God, what's the dude's name again? Ukon, right? The
Ukon?
yeah.
Yeah. I have a feeling that we're gonna get back to that.
Yeah, I
And-
want to see more of him.
And with the opening showing combat, I'm interested to see when that gets introduced to the show.
That-
So,
Definitely, I thought that was gonna be because a lot of the first season or whatever was a lot of like fights. Like it wasn't really like fights like like you're saying showing fights, but it was like battles between like different people in different countries or whatever.
Mhm.
So I thought that was gonna be a lot more of the central like thing of this season, but there hasn't really been any of it at all.
Well, this is pretty standard for a VN adaptation though, because we're introducing all the characters.
Well, I mean, it was a VN adaptation for the first one too.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is 25 episodes. I don't
Yeah,
know
it
how
was
long the first.
26, the first one.
But I have a feeling that I'm pretty sure we've met just about every single character now.
We still have a few more that we need to meet that are returning characters, but
Well, but I'm like new characters, and I think after this we'll start getting into the action and stuff like that. I don't know. I haven't read the visual novel, so I can't say for certain, but I'm definitely interested in this week. This show is this show, Heavy Object, and One Punch Man are the shows I look forward to every week. So
this show and One Punch Man, the biggest ones I look forward to every week.
So Aaron, enlighten us why we're wrong.
I'm not gonna say you guys are wrong because if you enjoy the show for your own reasons, that's fine. It's just that I'm really bored watching this show. Okay, I feel like 7 episodes in, nothing has really happened to capture my interest. Haku, okay, first of all, I have to say Kaon is cute, but the second she opens her mouth, I want to kill her so bad.
Why?
Why?
Kana, shut up! I don't want to hear that shit anymore. Her voice is so annoying.
Really? I think it's great.
Yeah.
I also I like her that she always says I think at the end.
I hate it.
I think it's hilarious.
I think it's hilarious.
I don't think it's hilarious.
Well, your
I don't
opinion's
find. No, nice try, dude.
wrong.
I don't find Haku interesting. He's just a dude who's
Lazy but incredibly
competent.
intelligent.
He's competent. Like, okay. Okay. So has anything happened yet? Can you guys? Maybe I missed something.
No, nothing's happened.
Yeah, nothing's happened.
6, they all hinted at stuff happening.
Yeah. But episode
But
7.
you wouldn't know that unless you watched the first.
Yeah, I know. Well, and it's probably I'm not as hyped because I haven't seen the first one. The first one's like 25 episodes or something.
Mm-hmm.
26.
Regardless, we're in episode 7. Okay, it's a little more excusable for Uta because it's not 12 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We're still almost an eighth of the way through, or not a third of the way through.
I
The
wish
fact
we
that
were only almost an eighth of the way through.
I wish.
Oh my god, that would be a fucking nightmare for me. The fact that we're almost an eighth or a third of the way through and nothing interesting has happened besides introducing characters, I'm bored. I'm really, really bored. Okay, I want something to happen.
So
I don't.
just real quick, you don't like slice of life, do you?
I do like slice of life. It's just that I don't like the characters.
Okay.
In slice of life. Or in this show. Kaon is annoying, like I said. Haku is meh. Who was that other guy? Nekone is like boring.
We haven't seen
The
that
little
much of her.
sister girl.
The little sister is boring. That one guy who fights, he's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Ukon
I'll
is
see
kind
more
of
of him.
interesting. The guy who was going to the palace or whatever was kind of cool. We haven't seen a whole lot of him though.
Who? Mororo?
Yeah, Mororo or whatever.
Oh, the
He's
weird
okay.
magic user.
Yeah, he was okay.
Dude, I was so weird, like, because there was never any indication that like there was magic part of the world before, or at least I didn't realize it at all if there was. But whenever I saw him using magic, I was like, it doesn't work in this world. What is this?
Oh, I thought that was hilarious. That he did that ridiculous dance, and I was laughing the entire time. I'm like, it's just gonna be so dumb. He's gonna like pull something out of his pocket and use that, and just everything bursts into flames. And I'm like, oh, this is great.
Okay, so the two the two people introduced at the end of episode 6. Is the blue-haired one actually Cowan's mom, or is it the red-haired one? Or are these sisters?
So, how it works is, she was raised by
the blue-haired one.
By a bunch of them.
There were a bunch of them. It's all the cast. So Kawara and Toka, blue-haired one's Kawara, and Toka is the pink, light, whatever color.
The red-haired one, yeah.
Yeah. And they were some of the cast from the previous season. And like if you notice in the flashbacks, they were showing some of the other characters. Like they showed one girl with like black wings and like another girl with white wings. There were some of the cast too, basically, it was like they took care of her when she was like growing up, and you know, like they were all friends, so they all like lived together in the not the temple, you know, herder. What's the main building of an empire? I don't even know.
The palace.
Yeah, the palace. There you go. And they all lived together there or whatever. So I'm guessing that she was just raised by a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you should know that when the country we're in now, Yamato, that's a different one from the previous season, which was Tuskaru, which they brought up during their conversation.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I think those two are all right. We don't
They're
know a
the
whole lot
best.
about them. There was that one random scene where Haku was like taking a bath and she like randomly appeared for obvious fan service purposes. I was like,
That
okay.
episode actually bothered me for the amount of just blatant fan service that was in there.
Oh well.
But
oh, well, I was happy to see my two best girls returning in one episode. It was perfect.
Toka and Karada.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like them though. They're nice. But otherwise, I just don't enjoy the show. I'm pretty bored. Also, Lee, your comment about me not liking Slice of Life. I mean, even in Slice of Life, things happen. It's not just people introducing themselves.
but stuff has happened here.
Not really. Like, Haku grounded some fucking wheat. That's like all that's happened. Okay, they attacked some bugs. That's like all.
They traveled to the palace. They've introduced a bunch of different characters, and we've shown that Haku's really good at talking with people. He can make people friends with him really quickly. And he's apparently a trust, or people have an inherent trust with him. We've seen some idiosyncrasies of the different characters that have been introduced. It's not just here. It's been like we get an introduction to the character in one episode, and then in the next few episodes we get more of why they act the way they do and stuff like that. I don't know. It's definitely, or at least in my opinion, it's definitely par for the course for what happens in a slice of life, which is just about nothing.
Yeah, I agree. We gotta build up the characters, and then we can start doing shit.
Because I will compare it to the first season of Clannad.
Which I have not seen.
What slice of life have you seen?
What?
Just a question.
What?
What slice of life has he seen?
Oh.
I've seen a decent amount. But, like, it's episode 7. Are we still introducing all of the characters? I don't know. It just
looks
doesn't
like it.
seem... It's just really boring for me. Like, you guys like it, that's fine, but I just want to see something, like, really important happen. Like, something that I can really latch onto and enjoy.
I can understand that.
So, if we're done talking about Uda, we can talk about Heavy Object.
Which
Wait, Tyler, you're not watching this, right?
No, I'm not. I've not watched Heavy Object.
Okay. Alright, Lee.
Okay, so I am enjoying this show right now. I think for the most part, it's pretty good. I like the fact that it's a mecha, or like, I'm not a huge fan of the mecha genre. I know I've said this before, but I like the fact that the mechs aren't unrealistic, humanoid-looking things, right? Because that's unrealistic from an engineering standpoint.
Oh, man. Engineering.
They're giant circles that have tons and tons of guns on them. I think that's great. I definitely like the fact. Obviously, there's still unrealistic things about them, but I think it's great that they aren't unrealistic looking humanoid things, but instead just giant machines that can just win wars against regular people. The fan service bothers me. It's too much. Way too much. It's like every single second they get, they throw in fan service. I don't mind some fan service, but the show doesn't need it. It's just way too much, in my opinion. Like, the flute scene,
Oh my god.
what the hell?
The fucking flute scene. Okay, so obviously you guys know how I feel about Heavy Object. The flute scene. The flute scene just confirmed my hatred for Heavy Object. Okay, and I'm glad that people are starting to see things my way because it seems that people.
I'm
Fuck the
sorry.
flute scene.
All I can think of while Aaron rants is that it's not Index 3, guys. That's
We
all
could-
I think of.
We could be seeing World War III right now, okay? We could be seeing World War III right now, but instead we got a fucking girl playing a flute in the middle of nowhere, okay?
I'm gonna Google this real fast.
Yeah, you should, because it's fucking stupid.
Okay, so, flute scene. So I hadn't. Aaron watched this episode, the episode with the flute scene, I think it was episode 5, before I did. And so, I was flipping through my Twitter, and I just see Aaron, he's just like, basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, like, this fucking flute scene, it's so dumb. Like, you just went off on this flute scene. And I'm like, oh, a flute scene, cool, there's gonna be music involved this episode. And I'm a huge music guy, so I was like, oh, this will be interesting. I wonder what he hates so much about it. Because I just assume that everything that you're hating on is perfectly fine.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just not Index 3. So I get to the flute scene, and, they're calibrating the suit or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this
Or
is
the big
fine.
claim.
But, this is a little weird, but it's nothing that Aaron should be too pissed off about. And then they just fucking walk into the building like it's no big deal. And it's like, really? They're doing testing. They should have locked all the doors. And then he just starts dicking around the flute. And she's just like,
Oh yeah,
Oh.
and then she like has an orgasm.
yeah. And it was just, I was like, really? Really? You
Exact-
had to go there.
The exact tweet that Lee referenced was from on November 6th. It was actually episode 6, and it said, "I don't want a flute scene" in all capital letters.
I didn't understand, but now I do. That bothered me a lot. I was like, that was the point, that was the turning point for me where I was like, alright, this fan service is too much. And it's like, it's just bad. If the show would be so much better if it didn't have the massive amount of fan service that it does.
You
Yeah,
know,
really.
I thought that you guys were over exaggerating the fan service, but like I'm on. There's so much.
Yeah. There really
Holy
is so
shit.
much.
Okay.
Now,
I thought
JC
this-
Seraph does a good job with their fan service. I will say that. It's just there's so much.
I wonder what kind of flute that was.
Oh man. But so besides fan service aside, even though it's basically a monster of the week, just instead of the week it's every 2 weeks, and they stumble their way through the problem and they end up winning every single time. And there's really no, instead of, oh, are they gonna make it, it's how are they gonna miraculously manage to do it this time. I find it entertaining. I find the main characters great. I wish the main character was a little bit more aware of the princess's feelings. Just a little bit. Come on, Quenther.
Yeah.
Come on. But I do like the fact that, Princess is using, her object to dick around with him.
So, does someone want to explain to me what this like spray thing they're using is?
some bullshit thing to
it's
encourage more fan service.
exactly, but it's basically they get really hot sitting in that giant mech, and so they need to cool off.
We don't have air conditioners. Oh no, take off your clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
Spray some liquid nitrogen on yourself.
Yeah, basically. That's basically what it is.
This sounds terrible.
See,
I
have
might
a really,
just watch it for this.
I have a really hard time saying that this is a good show because of the massive amount of fan service. It's like there's in a 25-minute episode, there's the opening and closing, so it's like 20 minutes of content. But because of the amount of fan service, it's more like 15 minutes of content, 5 minutes of pure fan service that has nothing to do with anything else.
Exactly. And I'm glad that this new episode didn't have fan service, but someone recently said that this show reeks of B-movie garbage, and that's exactly what it is. Like, there's nothing serious about it.
Maybe that's why I'm enjoying it, because it's just B-movie garbage.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Like, let me be real with you guys. Like, Heavy Object is nice to watch if you don't have brain cells,
Oh yeah, it's great.
but most people do.
It's a good show to turn your brain off and watch.
Yeah, no one. I mean, not no one. Not some people just don't have the ability to like just zone out and watch something, and I'm one of
Oh my
those people.
god, that ability. I can do that ability all day.
Like something
Cough,
bothers
cough,
me.
10 for Charlotte. Cough, cough.
My shit taste has no limits.
By the way, Tyler, that image you posted, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Like,
I mean, that it's not that extreme. That's because it's just Havia and Quentha are just like daydreaming. But this show is just dumb. Like, it's obvious that Kamachi just doesn't know jack shit about anything. Like, he researched the Index and Railgun series pretty nicely. Okay, the explanations were kind of ad hoc, but it's fine. Like, it makes sense. This, it's just like mechs with guns, and like
And
you can't
boobs.
use nukes, and like liquid nitrogen sprays or some shit.
I don't get the liquid.
Flutes, calibration of suits, like what the hell?
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
given all
don't-
that,
I don't like Quenther, okay? I don't like his name. I don't like his design.
really, you don't like his design? I like his design.
I think its design is really dumb. Well, not dumb, but like just not good.
I was actually going to talk. I was just going to talk about that. For the main part, the main 4 characters, I actually really like all their designs. I like Havia's design, Quenther's design, the princess's design, and
Okay.
Whatever her name is.
Frolatia, yeah, she's
Yeah.
kind of weird. I don't really like her either. The princess is I guess. I mean, she just seems kind of like fan service fodder for whenever Quenther and Havia want to jack off, but Havia is okay. I don't hate him, but I don't particularly like him. This show is like a battle for me. Like every time I watch it, I'm like, I could be watching Index 3. But I try to enjoy it, but like when stupid shit happens and like it's trying to be serious and I'm like, it just doesn't work.
It's just not Index 3, I feel you.
Yeah, it's
Alright, so.
after the episode ends, I just stare at the black screen and I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
This could be Heavy Object. I mean, this could be not Heavy Object. This could be Index, but it's not.
Yeah.
And I'm still watching it.
I mean, I kind of
This
have to.
should be Index, is what he's trying to say.
I mean, maybe it'll get better because at least with Heavy Object, things have happened. We're almost a third of the way through. I mean, there was some bullshit exposition in the most recent episode, but things have happened. There's still a lot of room for more development in the conflicts, which is great. I like that. Now we just need to make something actually happen.
Yeah.
Or we just need to continue forward with what we're doing. I don't just want Monster of the Week, okay? I like the design of the objects, alright? Baby Magnum, I didn't like the name at first, but I like it now. It's pretty cool. The the one the one object that's like floats in the water, I liked that one. It was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see more of stuff like that. I want to see more object on object fighting because episode 2 of this show was actually genuinely kind of exciting when the water strider and the object just duked it out in the middle of like
Alaska.
Alaska. Yeah,
Yeah, that was great. I want
that
to
was
see.
nice.
I want to see more object. I agree.
Yeah. I don't
not-
want Havia and Quenther just like wandering around being like, "Oh, what is this?" and then they just solve the problem.
Yeah, I definitely agree that I think we need a good, and it's setting up to be that we might have a good object fight in the coming up episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely agree that I want to see this new character that we haven't seen her yet. It's
You
been
mean
2 episodes.
The
idol character, whatever.
other object pilot.
Yeah, the other object pilot.
Okay, well,
Who on my anime list is literally named Ohoho because her real name is unknown.
oh, good.
So we don't know anything about her. We haven't seen her actually. We've only seen pictures of her being an idol. I'm interested to see what she's actually like, instead of this just speaker voice that we get from her object.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yep.
Okay, so next, Sakurako. I'm not going
Bones.
to talk a whole lot about Sakurako because Sakurako is decent.
Yep.
The most recent episode was disappointing because it was really boring and stupid.
I haven't seen the last episode or 2, so have they gone with the actual back or plot that's happening in the background? Have they exposed more of that at all?
I don't think so. The
Okay.
most recent episode was about a girl who wanted to find this one woman who she assumed was committing suicide, but it turns out she was just moving on with her life by not dying and marrying someone else. Which was really stupid. I just don't... This show is impressive visually, but I just don't think the main character and Sakurako are particularly interesting.
I can kind of agree with that one. They're interesting enough to drive the story forward, but they aren't.
I mean, what's the real story here? Like, there's some dark secret about Sakurako's past, somehow related to the main character.
Yep.
I mean,
Which
but
we don't
haven't
really know.
seen a
And
lot.
there's that butterfly guy that we don't really know all that much about.
Who's the butterfly guy?
That's the person I was talking about, like the background plot, because there's something happening. Because he was with the guy who wanted to commit suicide. He was
Mhm.
there. He was blocking the path. And in the first episode, the guy who tried to kill them or whatever with a knife was talking about some guy in butterflies. So I'm assuming that they're the same.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
We don't know who he is or what his reason for being there is, but obviously he is the antagonist that's pulling the
Mhm.
strings behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
Yeah,
But
we haven't seen a whole lot. So hopefully that'll be fixed. I just don't understand what this new episode was supposed to be about because it didn't do anything. Like, in the grand scheme of things, I think this was a filler episode. It just feels that way to me.
but there's 12 episodes. There isn't time for fillers.
I mean, yeah, in a perfect world there wouldn't be no filler, but I guess they just want to build upon 2 characters we've already seen. Not that they really need to be built upon, but I mean, whatever. I just think that Sakurako started good, became mediocre, and then became good again, and then went back to being mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a roller coaster.
Yep.
And that's all I'm going to say. Alright, so the next 3 shows are 3 shows that Tyler and I are watching. but no one else is so far, or they're not caught up. So we're only going to talk for a little about that. And when I mean little, I mean like 1 minute. Alright, so first up is Owarimonogatari.
Am I going?
Yeah.
Alright. Owari is Shaft at its finest, obviously. Like, there's no issues. The voice acting for Oikara, perfect. Like, literally that entire episode. Like, we were talking about Slice of Life earlier and how, like, you know, it's really boring or whatever. And, like, I felt no boredom at all. Like, I was all along for the ride. And, like, the voice acting of Oikara was perfect. I'm really excited for the Shinobu male arc because I think in the timeline it's at that point where in Tsubasa Tiger or whatever the cram school got burnt down. I think is where it is in the timeline, and like what oh my god, I can't say his name. Araragi was doing at that time because he wasn't anywhere around during that whole arc except at the very end. So I really want to know what the story is with that. So I'm pretty excited for that. But other than that, Monogatari proved itself. Like this what is it? Sodachi Lost Arc wanted me to read the light novels. Like that's how good it was. Like the mystery kept me so enticed, and like the flip around at the end where I was just like, yo, I know what's happening next, and then it was like, oh wait, no you don't. I don't know. Just the whole mystery is great. I really am enjoying Owarimonogatari.
Okay. I've only watched 2 episodes. It's alright so far. I'm planning on catching up. I'm just really busy right now, and I've admittedly I'm not really watching the best shows this season that everyone wants me to be watching, but that's just how it ended up. Alright, next is Owari no Seraph, Part 2. If you remember a couple seasons ago, maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3, I watched Owari no Seraph Season 1, and I hated it for a lot of reasons. And Anime News Network also hated it, but at the end they said it was good, which is really weird. It was a very dramatic shift from episode like 9 to 10. But I will say this right now: Owari no Seraph Season 2 is actually kind of good. I don't know what it is. It's almost like first season was just purging all the shit, and now we're actually getting to the good stuff. But now that Yu is not an asshole who like rages all the time, it's focusing more on like camaraderie and just, you know, building a family and like unifying and stuff like that, and the conflict between the potential for humans to betray other humans and vampires betraying other vampires and humans fighting vampires. The show is actually pretty exciting, and I'm really glad they decided to take it this way, because I love Shinoa, and now I love everybody else in the show too, which is pretty rare. Alright, so next is Gundam. Gundam is great. Honestly, I think it might be my favorite show of the season.
I'm 2 episodes behind on Gundam as well, but I'm watching it as well, and Gundam is great. This is my first Gundam, and it's definitely making me interested in watching others. And for the 3rd time this episode, I don't like Mecha that much, but this show is definitely making me rethink my opinion on Mecha.
Yeah.
It's good.
I've always loved Mecha. I'm not sure why. But anyway, yeah, Gundam is great. Watch Gundam, please. Next is the most favored show this season, by far. One Punch Man.
Because it's great.
Didn't see that one coming.
I'm not saying it's not great.
All right.
But anyway, yeah.
So, One Punch Man. We've talked about it before. We talked about how much I love this show. But to recap, just in case you guys didn't see me talk about it before, this show is just perfect, in my opinion. It's Madhouse taking the source material and
It's not even Madhouse, dude.
adapting it amazingly. The art from the manga is incredible, and they're taking that and they're making the show incredible. The voice acting is also great. It's exactly it, or it's maybe not exactly what I was thinking for other characters, but they fit perfectly. Saitama's voice is great. Everybody else's is great. I'm just excited to see where just animated for the rest of the stuff. I think it's even better in my opinion, well, for me personally, is the fact that I read it a long time ago, so I don't remember most of what happens. So everything is new every week, and it's great. It's a satire parody of the hero genre, and they just make it, or the hero shonen style genre, where the main character can win every fight with one punch because he's so fucking overpowered, and it's perfect. The way that they handle it is just great.
Now, you had said Madhouse was doing great, and I wanted to point out that it's not really Madhouse at all. Like, there are so many freelance animators on this show that the amount of staff from Madhouse is very significant. And a lot of this is due to Shingo Natsume, the director, who brings in his book of friends. And there's this one video by the Kanapa Effect, if you can't find it, the animation breakdown of One Punch Man. Just find it on YouTube. It's really good. I used his little definition, the Book of Friends, Shingo Natsume's Book of Friends. He just called in a bunch of his buds that he knew from the industry, and they made something amazing. So,
yeah, because
props to them.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, because I was reading about this as well, is he just called up a bunch of guys that love One Punch Man, and that are all really good, and they decided to do this manga justice with this show. And they are doing exactly that.
Yeah.
Whether or not you like the show, that's up to you to decide, but they are taking a wonderful manga and making an equally wonderful anime with it.
100% agree. And everyone was saying oh my god, dude, the budget behind this show was so good. And they even came out and said, yo, this had a pretty average budget. We just have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Good
really
faith.
talented people.
Really talented, and they really wanted to make a good adaptation. They were really, you know what I mean. I can't, the words are escaping me, but they really did show that they care a lot about this show. And, yeah, but, I really am enjoying the, sort of making fun of, your standard superhero throughout the whole thing. The, facial reactions are perfect. My god. There's so many good facial reactions from Saitama. And it really, I think it's really needed as well, because his face is so dull. There's not much there compared to the other characters, So when he has these awesome facial reactions, just adds to that impact on oh shit.
Yeah, it's great. I don't understand what you're. Can you explain to us, Aaron, what you like and dislike about this show?
I like the animation, and to an extent, I like the idea behind it. The thing that just, I'm not saying that One Punch Man is bad or anything like that. I'm just saying that I just don't find a lot of enjoyment in it right now. And the reason for that is it just feels really, really repetitive. That's just the one problem I have. It's always, because episode 2 is where I started to get annoyed. I mean, I've only seen 2 episodes, so take what I say with a grain of salt if you've seen everything. From what I saw from 2 episodes, I thought that the House of Evolution or whatever was gonna be some big deal, we should be afraid. Saitama is finally gonna have a rival. No, he just wrecks the shit out of that thing. And I was like, great.
But you didn't get enjoyment out of like the whole I'm missing the supermarket sale.
No, it was so dumb.
It was
Like-
so good.
I've seen that exact gag 100 times.
Oh, I mean, it's One Punch Man. Though. You gotta love it.
Exactly.
I've seen that exact gag 100 times. It's not funny. Like, the humor, it's missing its mark with me, I feel. I just don't think it's all that funny. Like, Lee says, oh, you must not like satire. Like, is it really? Like, I like satire. But satire is best when it's just ironically, a one punch to your face. Like, it doesn't keep punching you in the face with that exact satire. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's an entire show that's based around parodying the hero. I mean, I understand what you're saying a little bit, but I don't know.
I don't know. I'll try to watch it. It's just that I don't have a lot of motivation to. This and Insider are suffering from my apathy right now. People have been saying, "Oh, Insider is so amazing. You know, it's one of the best written shows this season, easily. Maybe even this whole year." And people are like, "Oh, One Punch Man is such a good show." And I'm sitting in my dorm room, fucking learning organic chemistry and being like,
Yeah, I agree with Perfect Insider.
I want to watch both of them. It's just that something inside of me says no. Like, don't watch it.
Perfect Insider, we'll touch on it real quick. It's just like, I don't know what it is. Because it's just so, I think it's so standard. The setup is so standard. For a mystery, like what they have. You have a closed room. You have, they're closed off from everything else, so they can't get help. It's just, everything is just so standard. It doesn't grab me at all.
Really?
Yeah. For a mystery, it's just like, oh, it's just a closed room problem again. Not that I can just say, oh, this is the answer, but I have no desire to find out what happens.
As someone who's seen literally hundreds of closed room mysteries, I have no problem with closed room mysteries. I think they're really interesting.
I think they can be, but this one isn't.
Really? I feel like you're gonna catch a lot of shit for saying that.
I might, and bring it on. I am all down. I'm totally down to talk about it in the comments down below. But I've watched 5 episodes of it, and nothing really has happened. We've gotten a lot of character development, kind of more like character discovery. We've learned a little bit more about the characters, but there's been no advancing really of the mystery, in my opinion. We've discovered that there's nothing in the room in 5 episodes.
I mean, well, you just kind of spoiled, but whatever. I'm only 2 episodes in. I mean, I'm gonna have to watch it, but yeah, I just got behind. I can't explain it. Like, life just got busy. Because I feel like a One Punch Man, especially comedy shows, One Punch Man and Insider demand that you pay attention.
Yes.
With shows like Comet Lucifer, I can just be like, I can just drool on my desk and be like, oh, I got everything. Same with Asterisk. So that's pretty much why. And that wraps up. Actually, Tyler, did you want to say anything, or are we good?
I think that wraps up.
Alright. That wraps up episode 14's... Well, not episode. That wraps up our discussion on the anime this week. Once again, we're sorry that it took fucking 3 weeks to get this out. But before we go, we have some news. We're going to start off... Actually, all of this is kind of bad news, but... you guys might be wondering why David has not appeared for the past. How many episodes has it been? 4?
4
3 or 4 episodes. David has technically dropped out of the podcast. It's not official, of course. He hasn't said anything about dropping out. He's just.
For now.
He's just incredibly busy with. I mean, not really, but he's studying Japanese.
His entire time is spent on being a weeb.
Yeah, he's studying Japanese, and he wants to learn Japanese, and he's attempted to recruit me into learning Japanese with him, and I don't really want to do that. And Lee is supposed to be learning Japanese with him, but he's not.
Nope. I was going to, but he got really, really far ahead, and then I was like, well, learning a programming language is more important in
it's
my
more important to
line of work.
what you want to do in life.
Exactly.
I'm not sure what David's doing. I think he's going to do some, like, language program or something. I don't know. But, so yeah, David probably won't be appearing for a while unless he either loses interest in learning Japanese or he starts watching anime again, because apparently he hasn't watched anything this season.
yeah, he's...
So,
Was he watching Is the Order of Rabbit season 2?
I don't know. I
that
think
was,
he
like, the
watched a
one
little
thing.
bit of One Punch. But he's not watching much. He's not watching anything we're watching. And if he is, he's behind. Yeah. And it's November now. We're halfway through November. And I think it's time to start thinking about what we're going to do for winter. Because, as you know, winter is when a lot of us go on vacation. Particularly me. I will not be around for most of December, I feel, because I will be back home in Ohio, living it up.
Living up,
Yeah.
love that feeling.
I'm going to be living in a friend's house, so I will not be around for most of winter, if at all. What are you guys doing? Because we might have to straight up cancel the podcast for winter. For December, at least.
Yeah, nothing's
good.
confirmed yet, but I may or may not be around. It depends on my work schedule, if I'm working, when I'm working, stuff like that. So, nothing confirmed yet, but it's definitely going to be difficult to get episodes in through the end of November, December time frame with
early
finals
June.
and stuff like that. But I'll definitely be around to be making episodes and stuff for the coming winter season, which I'm super hyped for.
I will definitely be around, but standard Christmas time, so like there might be something comes up and says, yo, you gotta go with Family Matters for celebrating the holidays, but other than that, I should be around.
I think this is a big disadvantage of all of us not actually knowing each other in real life.
That's it.
My favorite anime podcast, the James and Brown podcast, they actually know each other. They live pretty close to each other. And they can actually get together and talk. We can't do that. I can't just get on a plane and fly over to Maryland.
There's also the time zones too. It's really AIDS.
Yeah. Well, it's not that big of a difference. It's only 3 hours.
Yeah, it's still
Also,
a factor.
if that wasn't bad enough, I recently took up archery, and I joined my school's archery team. So that means I have to practice.
Congratulations, by the way. I don't think I said that. Good job.
Oh, thanks, man. I have practiced 2 to 5 on Sundays, and I cannot skip that. Which
Basically,
means
just find different times to record. So
yeah, we're gonna have to find a new time to record. What day? I was thinking Saturday. Hopefully that works for you guys. I'm not sure
Yeah,
if it
that'll be
does. Also, because I'm on the archery team, that means I have to go out to tournaments and actually compete. And those competitions always take place on the weekends, which means that some weeks I won't be around because I'll be, somewhere shooting arrows. So I apologize for that, but I really like archery and I really want to get good, so I need to practice as much as I can. And that's about it. That's all the bad news we have. Does anyone have any good news?
We got Lee to, no, not Lee. We got Aaron to start watching One Punch Man again, so there's some good news.
I mean,
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
But oh, good news! Hatsune Miku's coming to America again, 2016. Oh yeah,
Where
she's
is
coming
that?
to New York with me. She's gonna be in a lot of places. She's gonna be in San Francisco. She's gonna be in Dallas, Toronto, Canada. I think is what it's named, right?
All at once, right? Or just one
York.
at a time?
One at a time. She's going on tour, so you gotta like go different places.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, I remember when she was on the David Letterman show.
yeah, that was
was
so
weird.
funny.
I didn't like her
It was-
performance.
I didn't like it either. But,
One of my teammates on the archery team is a big fan of Vocaloids, actually.
Oh really?
Actually, it's weird because the anime club is like here apparently like kind of cancerous, but like the archery team, like a lot of people like anime and they're like all gamers. So I'm like, holy shit, did I just stumble upon like a secret club of gamers and anime fans? Like, man, I'm really glad I found them. I like them a lot. So you're going to New York to see her, right?
Hopefully. Tickets go on sale the 20th. I'm trying to convince people that I can go, but we'll see if I get tickets or not. So.
All right. What about you, Lee? We gotta have at least one good news from you.
Good news. Let's see. I'm just gonna talk about visual novel stuff because that's what I'm all about. Clanad visual novel is being released in English on Steam on November 23rd.
Nice.
The Muv-Love Kickstarter finished up with over 500% of the original goal, clocking in at $1.2
$1.2
million,
What the hell?
which is actually insane. We reached all of the stretch goals, including the stretch goal that was tacked on at the end, and we beat that by $300,000.
Pretty ridiculous how much money actually went into that Kickstarter.
Yeah, it beat the Clanad Kickstarter, which was by the Clanad Kickstarter made $700,000. So we beat that by $500,000, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous. And
That's
Clanad is
crazy.
super popular. So that's my good news. I'm just excited for next summer when Muv-Love's going to be released. But I'll quench my visual novel thirst with Clanad.
Me and Lee actually were one of the supporters or whatever. But with did we actually get the digital first before like the box set comes in or whatever?
Mhm.
Okay. So I actually get to start that. I wasn't sure if I would have to like wait, get it all
How
at
much
once.
money did you guys throw onto it?
150.
Yep.
But I want to throw another 80 on it to get the
Right?
codex. But
Right.
I don't have that money at the moment.
Exactly.
Wow.
But
Speaking of money, archery is crazy expensive. I shoot barebow right now, which is the cheapest one, and buying a beginner bow will cost me something like maybe $150. Plus, actually no, around $300.
with arrows.
Jesus.
Not including the arrows. It's just the limbs and the actual like riser, which is fucking insane. But yeah, my wallet is like feeling the pain right now.
But that wraps up our show, guys. Thank you for listening. And,
Thanks for putting up
thanks.
with us.
Yeah.
know, everything. If you're still here, you're the best.
That fucking 3-week gap where we just didn't do jack shit.
Yep.
It's happened.
So, until the next time, thank y'all.
Thanks.
Please comment on the video, follow the Twitters, you know the drill. And we'll
Convince
see you
Aaron
all.
to watch One Punch Man.
Yeah, make sure you put lots of One Punch Man stuff, whatever. And we will see you all. We'll see you all in 2 weeks.
next time.